Sunstorm, The Road to Hell, 11 tracks, 45 minutes, the 5th studio album from the 5-piece led by Jolene Turner. Released June 2018 by Frontiers, produced by Alessandro Del Vecchio. 2 promo tracks have been released, The Road to Hell and Only the Good Will Survive. Brendan.
I hadn't heard Jolene Turner sing for a long time. And it was actually really good to hear his voice again.
Yeah, he's still got it.
Yeah, absolutely. If this album's anything to go by, he's still got some pipes on him. And, nothing wrong in that area. This is just pretty much a classic metal album, I'd say, of the classic era. Not too much from outside the box, but it was still pretty cool. It all sounded really good, but I did get I've heard this before.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
To it. It just it didn't really excite me.
Up on that.
I enjoyed the second half of the album a lot more than the first. It seemed to get a bit darker and more interesting in the second half of the album. Did get a bit dull though on repeat listens, I find. We sort of went through this one a few times thinking, I don't think I'll be coming back to this one time and again, but yeah, if you like your classic era metal, certainly give it a go. Great sound, lyrically it's pretty strong. But yeah, nothing outstanding for me. I gave it 6 out of 10. The highlights were Resurrection, The Road to Hell and Calling.
Cool.
As Andrew mentioned, it's a Frontiers release, and it was Alessandro Del Vecchio producing it. So he's their in-house producer. And now the issue that I get there is that Frontiers albums do tend to sound like a Frontiers album after a while. Yeah. Very little differentiation into it. And I think that's what's happened here. Like I say, it's just one of those things where...
They're assembling a lot of bands too, which is...
They are, and they're putting a lot of these projects together, that last one album, then they break and all this kind of stuff. This has gone down that kind of path for me. Like Brendan was saying, I hadn't heard Jolene Turner in quite a while, since probably, I think it was Rainbow and Rhyme Sim and things like that. Overall, there's enough to like about this album for me. He's always had a very smooth, effortless sounding voice. And he's been around for like 40-something years, and he's still got the chops sort of thing. So
definitely.
Yeah, he's awesome. The songs, they've got hooks, they've got catchy choruses, but that's what you expect from Frontiers nowadays. But the problem there is it sounds like a lot of things that Frontiers have done. Note being here is that a lot of the Frontiers albums, especially ones that are produced by the in-house producer there, these songs sound like they could have been written for any other Frontiers project, especially Jorn Lundy. I don't know if you guys don't follow him, but so I'm thinking a lot of this kind of stuff could have been written for him, sort of thing. So yeah, I had struggled a little bit with this album, to be honest. Look, the vocals are great. I mean, you can't really fault the vocals, everything like that.
Cool album work, though.
I'm just looking at the album cover now, and the album cover's awesome, but that's
just for the record.
But again, if you guys get online, check out the album cover and check out most Frontiers covers from the last couple of years.
Yeah, they're
same
cool.
kind of thing. It's a pretty consistent album, kind of just treads along a similar kind of path. I wanted Jolene Turner to kind of, I don't know, probably explored other facets of his voice and stuff like that as well, because he's done that, especially in his time with Rainbow, where the Rainbow albums that he was on were probably the most diverse Rainbow albums out there. Now, I know that was many years ago and stuff, but this is his own gig, this is his own bag. He could have kind of stretched it out a little bit more. So, look, overall, not a bad album, not a great album, it's there, so I'm giving it really middle of the ground for me, 5 wigs out of 10. It's one of those nights, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's good. This one starts off a little bit sedate for me, but then it gets to hitting its straps after that. It's not an overly heavy or blistering record, but there are some nice solid riffs and solid bass lines on this, I found. And I do like the melody and the vocals. I like the way the synth is layered back on this. It's not glaring, but it fills out the sound wall on it. It's got nice production overall, got a bit of sparkle to it, but there is some grit in there as well. It's nicely balanced with a fair bit of depth. The compression doesn't help the guitars, though. It just seems to bring everything else up to the guitars a little, but the guitars then don't punch through, which gives it a lack of weight for me. It's riff-driven, for sure, but there's a bit of AOR about it. I thought it was very melodic, and there are some very tasty guitar solos in this, so I did like that. But there's some good writing. I know what you're saying about Frontiers, but I love the way the little things are done that add different layers to some of the songs. Things like vocals coming in at different times and then fading out. Yeah. Great backing vocals on this as well. They add something to this one. I guess I'm looking at this more from the audiophile kind of perspective, because I always love the production side. So if it's got decent tricks in that regard, it's always going to sustain me further than just pure songwriting, Wolf. But I get what you mean completely. I just think that there were some little touches here and there that just thought, okay, that brightened up a bit for me. But there were some little touches of darkness on this that were well done. There are some very cool note choices in that regard. They gave it the minor key use. It's got solid track order and diversity, some beautiful moments on it. It's got a nice ballad in the middle of the album as well, which is all very formulaic, but they're doing it well overall. I like the space and the atmosphere on this one. I love how the bass lines come through nice and warm on this at times. That's really cool. But Jolene Turner, he's still nailing things vocally. Yeah. Big credit to him there. Like he's not a slouch vocally in any way, shape or form. He's still going really good. It's an album that finishes stronger, like you said, than it starts. It starts off with sort of, okay, we're here. But by the end of it, it's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense, and I'm more into it at the end. It makes me want to go back to the start more readily, kind of a thing. For me, it's sort of guitar-driven AOR rock. It's well done, nicely executed. It's not breaking any new ground, but it holds its own sort of well enough as far as I'm concerned. So 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. My Eyes on You, Resurrection, Future to Come, and Calling were my standouts. Check it out for yourselves. Give us your thoughts.